Good morning. I am Rosemary Dirizabal from BSBA MM2C, and for today's topic, I will be discussing the Chapter 4 category of attractiveness, and I will be discussing the Porter's 4 factor, which is the threats of new entrants, bargaining power of buyers and suppliers, and also the threats in substitute. Together with my group mates, we will also discussing the Chapter 5 competitors analysis. In this topic, we will about to know the following. First is the important factors in assessing the underlying attractiveness of a product category. Next is the three main areas of inquiry include basic aggregate factor, category factor related to the major participants, and environmental factor. We will also discuss the sources of information for the attractiveness analysis, components, and apply the concept of the energy bar and the PDA categories. What is category of attractiveness all about? It is a tool used to assess the potential of a product or service to achieve a desired level of return on investment. So, it is all about the return on investment. It is a tool used to know if the product or services has a higher chance of return on investment. Like for example, a company will launch a new product in a market. So, with the help of category of attractiveness, dito natin madedetermine if malaki ba ang potential ng product or services na to na mabenta or maging successful sa market. Yun yung tinatawag na category of attractiveness. Aggregate market factor is a term used to describe the total amount of goods and services in an economy that consumers are willing to pay for in a given period of time. Dito naman sa aggregate market factor, tinitignan dito ang total amounts of goods and services in an economy that consumers are willing to pay. So it is all about the consumer willingness to pay a certain products or services. Next is market growth. Is the key market factors advocated by various planning models. Not only is the current growth important, but growth projection over the horizon of a plan are also critical. Here in market growth, it is very important in businesses or in those planning to enter in a business to know how market growth will affect their business, mapa-negative man ito or positive. Product life cycle. A term product life cycle refers to the length of time from when the product is introduced to consumer into the market until it removes from the shelves. Product like people have life cycles. The life cycle of product is broken into 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. A company often incurs higher marketing costs when introducing a product to the market, but experiences higher sales as the product adoption grows. Sales stabilize and peak when the product adoption matures, though competition and obsolescence may cause its decline. The introduction phase is the first time customers are introduced the new product. The company must generally includes a substantial investment in advertising and marketing campaign focused on making consumer aware of the product and its benefits. Market growth. If the product is successful, then it moves to the growth stage. This is characterized by growing demand, an increase in production, and expansion in its availability. Sa maturity stage naman, maturity stage of the product life cycle is the most profitable stage, the time when the cost of the producing and marketing decline. Sa declining stage naman, as the product takes on increased competition as other companies emulates its success, the product may lose market shares and begin its decline. Next is sales cyclicity. The term sales cycle describes all the sales process steps from the First customer contact to closing deal and follow-ups. Simply put, it's potential client journey from recognizing they need a product to making a purchase. The sales cycle helps you to deliver a product or services that aligns with your prospect needs. With the sales cycle in place, you can better organize your company's sales pipeline and prioritize your leads. Next is the seasonality. Seasonality refers to the predictable changes that occurs over 1 year period in a business or economy based on the seasons including calendar or commercial seasons. Seasonality can be used to help analyze stock and economic trend. Seasonality intra-year cycle in sales is generally not viewed positively. For example, in the last few years, the toy industry has reduced its reliance on Christmas period to generate more of its sales. Refers to the cyclical fluctuations in sales that occur within a single year. Profits. Profit may vary depends on the product and brand. Higher brand means higher price. Low quality brands also has a lower price in the product category. Intra-industry trade, that is trade of goods within the same industry from one country to another. For example, the United States produces and exports autos and imports autos. It will affect the profit. Now let's know the Porter's four factor, which is the threats of new entrants, bargaining power of buyers and suppliers, and lastly the threats of substitute. A company power is also affected by the force of new entrants into its market. The less time and the money it costs for the competitor to enter the company market and can be effective competitor, the more an established company position could be significantly weakened. An industry with strong barrier to entry is deal for existing companies within the industry since the company would be able to charge higher prices and negotiated better terms. The threats of new entrants, in here businesses should consider the following: economic upscale, product differentiation, capital requirements, switching costs, and distribution. To understand more, let's have an example. We know the Big Brew Milk Tea offers a lower price but high quality na nagkakos lang ng 29 to 49 pesos yung mga drinks nila. And someone will planning to establish a milk tea shop like Big Brew. So, as the threats of new entrants, they need to compete with the price of Big Brew and also the quality of it. Kasi syempre, saan ba pupunta yung mga customer? Syempre doon sa low price but quality products. Or doon sa higher price pero same level of quality lang like Big Brew. Syempre doon sila sa Big Brew na may lower price but with a high quality of product. Bargaining power of buyers. In here, the buyer have the ability to drive prices lower or their level of power. It is affected by how many buyers or customers a company has, how significant each customer is, and how much it would cost a company to find a new customer or markets for its output. A smaller and more powerful client base means that each customer has more power to negotiate for a lower prices and better deals. A company that many seller independent customers will have an easier time charging higher prices to increase a profitability. Sa bargaining power of supplies naman, it addresses how easily suppliers can drive up the cost of input. It is affected by the number of suppliers of its key input of goods and services.